What's up, guys? Your agent Tyler Wehrung here with Keller Williams, and today we're going to talk about home inspections. Home inspections are used on a ton of transactions, probably most of transactions. So we're going to talk about what they are, why they're important, and what that means to you. So with that, let's jump in. Alright guys, so let's talk about when inspections take place. Typically, once the property is under contract, the buyer had written in the contract that there would be an inspection window. Most of the times it's 10 to 14 days after acceptance. We'll have the inspection done and the results communicated back to the seller. So that's typically the time frame of it, kind of keying off that contract acceptance date. So what the inspection really is, a licensed inspector will come out and walk the entire property, kind of look at all the functionals, the roof, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, kind of all of that, make sure it's up to code, there's no safety issues or significant problems that are occurring currently with the home or something that might happen pretty close in the future. They'll also do a quick look at the appliances, make sure they're all functional as well, and they'll look at a lot of other things with the home. They'll typically give you at the end a lengthy report that can be intimidating or a little overwhelming, especially if this is your first time through. So to set expectations, kind of anticipate a pretty lengthy report, and it's very normal for lots of things to not be up to the very tip-top standard when it comes to home inspectors. But things you really want to watch out for are safety items, big ticket items, or things that could be functionally or foundationally wrong with the home. So, plumbing issues, maybe significant cracks in the foundation, or a very old HVAC that has to be jump started before it will come on. So things like that that are pretty costly going in are the things you probably want to call out and maybe have a negotiation with the seller on. So to that point, anything that's found in this inspection, it can be a negotiation tool. You can go back to the seller and ask for them to at least update or fix any issue that the inspector called out. Now in reality, the point of the inspection is not to go back to the seller and have them reduce the price by a lot or be nitpicky and ask for them to fix every single item. This is really for functional things that need to be fixed or things that are broken. Now the seller doesn't have to fix anything. They can say, we're not making any changes. We're going forward with the current contract that was in place, and it's on you to fix. Now, in a seller's market like we're in January of 2021, this is more common. The sellers kind of have the negotiating power because they know there are hundreds of buyers who are willing to jump in and replace you if you're going to be picky on an inspection. But you want to have a conversation with your agent around your negotiating power in the situation and what your comfort level is with the inspection findings and how comfortable you are moving forward purchasing the home with some of the defects that were found in the inspection. All right, so outside of the negotiating and trying to look for big items wrong with the home or potential hazards, what is the point of the inspection? All right, so for most cases, inspections are optional. Now, in cases where you're putting very little down, and some FHA programs, VA programs, they do require inspections with very specific guidelines, but you'll want to have an understanding of kind of what your financing options are going in to understand your inspection obligation. But if you're putting 20% down a conventional loan, it's pretty typical that the inspection is on you to either write in the contract or leave out. So why would you leave an inspection out? In a crazy hot market, it's not uncommon for offers to come in waiving their right to an inspection. This is a plus to the seller because they know they're not going to get a list of items back for them to potentially have to fix or reduce the price on. So it makes it a cleaner offer from the seller standpoint, which is why in a hot market you might have to do things like that in order for your contract to be accepted. But if you are in one of the other programs that do require an inspection, there is a point to it. All right, so these government-backed programs are going to be loaning you a lot of money to purchase this home. So it's in their best interest and it's in your best interest to really understand and make sure there isn't something that's going to go wrong the day after closing that would cost them a significant portion of money. So there is a point to it, but in most cases it's in your best interest to have an inspection done. It gives you a better comfort level going in, knowing that everything really has been looked at and you feel good about your decision to buy a home that's structurally sound, it's safe, and nothing's going to go wrong that day after closing. So the key points are: understand your financing options going in, know whether or not an inspection would be required on your particular loan program, and if not, have a conversation with your agent to see if that's a negotiating lever you're wanting to pull on. It's always a good opportunity to walk a property first before you put in these inspection contingencies, especially if you're going to waive the inspection. Have it walked and maybe take a contractor with you to walk it day one so that you at least know going in that you're waiving something, that's typically a new property, something that's just been recently updated. Those are typically situations where you'd be in a safer position to waive the inspection. However, you just really don't know. So unless this is your area of expertise, highly recommend maybe paying a contractor to walk some properties that you're pretty serious about putting offers on to get a good comfort level of when you waive that inspection, you actually aren't taking on as much risk as it might sound. So hope that was helpful, guys. If you know somebody in the buying or selling process that this video might help, I would appreciate a share, just a like on the video, or a comment below. As always, a subscribe would be super helpful to me as well, as we're trying to grow the channel and help as much people out there as we can. But with that, guys, I'm Tyler Wehrung with Keller Williams, and we'll catch you next time.